All right, I'm back. I made it for an afternoon stream here, so uh, welcome anyone who might be bumbling into this stream out there. So what's on the agenda today? I think what I'm gonna do is just desolder this working on my Kijimi synthesizer project. I think we're going to desolder the 24 megahertz crystal, and I'm going to replace, I think, 3 of the 4 capacitors. I was looking on the data sheet, the replacements I got, because the part numbers it calls for on the bill of materials are back ordered for like a year or something because of the whole crazy component shortage. So I ordered some kind of alternative, and I was just studying. The difference is the ones that I got, I believe, are rated at 16 volts, and the originals were 50. So I think what I'm going to do is leave the one that's in there because it's most likely rated at 50 volts, the one I got from SynthCube, and not change that one out unless, I need to try something more. But so I think what I'm going to do is change the 24 megahertz crystal and 3 of the 4 capacitors around it for good measure. And then I'm going to go ahead and probe, power it up and probe the clock signal again. I set up my I believe it was 1 volt at 50 nanoseconds is what it should be set to. I got that from the engineers. So I'm going to go ahead and probe, and hopefully I'll see a clock signal if things go well. Perhaps if it's the crystal, I should see a clock signal now, a 24 megahertz clock signal. Fingers crossed. So that said, let's get to it. I think I will switch cams. And how are we going to do this? We're going to switch cams over, and then I'm going to first desolder those 3 capacitors and the crystal, and pop those in, and then solder them back in and do a little test. Okay, so that said, let's switch over. I'll be with you in a second. All right, here we go. I rolled over. So my iron's on. Let's take a look at this first under the microscope. I think we can kind of get this in here. That looks right for me. I had it kind of adjusted for you guys. Let's see what it looks like on your side of things. If I can find my mouse. Okay, there. Can we do the composite? Okay, there's me in there too. I'm going to move this up a little bit. Okay, so this is the area that we're looking at. So here is the 24 megahertz crystal, and then here are the 4 blue capacitors that I want to switch out. Now, which is the one I'm not switching out? That is the 4.7 what is it, microfarad, I believe, C8. So that is this top guy here, I believe. Yeah. And there's C26. This is 33 picofarad. C27 is also 33 picofarad. I have those at hand. And then C7 is 10 microfarad. And that's what I have here. So these are the 33 I have here, and this one is the 10. I have that here as well, which is C7. Okay, so I'm gonna pop those out and replace them, and as well as the crystal there, which I have over here on hand. Okay, so that's our goal. So first things first is we got to get the old ones out of there. So I'm going to flip this over now. This is really tough to see Gotta make sure you're getting the right things here. So it's really hard to see what I'm working on here, but I think I have the right ones. Trying to do this all. It is exponentially harder to do all this on a cam, I have to say. I wish it weren't, but ooh, there we go. That was not right. Okay, let's see. Can we get this in a little better? I think what I'm going to do is switch from the microscope just to the other cam view, this one, because it is too hard for me to work this way for right now. And we'll come back to that to view this at the end. Okay. So that is our... And those two, I believe. Yeah, okay, so those are our two capacitors. Which one is the 4.7? That's that one. And then those two. Okay, I think I see the ones we need to do. I'm going to go ahead and do the crystal first. That didn't do very well. See how these do. Oh, that one feels like it's going to come out. So I'm just going to go ahead and work that guy loose. Okay, that one worked out pretty well. That guy seemed like it worked pretty well too. My mouse is... Keep hitting my mouse here, sorry. Throwing the camera around on you guys. Maybe I'll stick this out of the way for a bit. Okay, there we go. I don't feel like we got this one at all. Boy, that guy just feels like it's in there. Might have got the left side loosened now. There, I think that worked. Sometimes pushing it side to side will break it away from the I may have to switch to a smaller iron for that. So let's see, are we doing C7 or C8? We are doing C7, which is this guy, which are those two. I'm going to do that now. Right. Right. That was slippery. Okay. There we go. Got that one out as well. Trying to keep track of these. Okay, those came out nice and clean, all of those. Those shouldn't be hard to get back in. The crystal is somewhat more problematic here. I need to look at this under the scope, I think. It's really hard for me to tell what is still attached here. Maybe I can show you guys this. I should be switching my view for you. Okay, there we go. And so the ones we're looking at are, where are they at? These guys, these two right here. And in your view, it's hard to tell as well. Looks like this one here is more connected to me. I am using the polarizer there. It's a little dark. Let's try focusing it up for you guys. I am holding this kind of on an angle, but it is kind of hard to tell. But it looks like, here I'm going to use some tweezers here. See if we can't get a better read of this. Which ones am I going to use? Maybe these guys. Yeah, that guy's still pretty solid. So is that guy. Okay, I am going to give the iron just one more pop here and see if we can't get something. Dang. Guy just does not want to come out of there. Maybe I can give it just a regular soldering iron heat. See if I can kind of pinch it from the back at the same time. We're going to try that out. When doing this stuff, the trick is, oh, you guys can't see anything. When doing this stuff, the trick is oops, I'm messing everything up with the views for you guys. The trick is heating it just enough to get it out, but not damaging the leads or anything, which is the trick. It's tough. Okay, there, I got that one. There, I pulled it out. They came right out. Okay, great. So that guy's out. Perfect. Glad I went to that tactic and got it out that way. So here, I'm going to shut off my desoldering iron and get rid of this guy so it's not going to burn anything up over here. Stick this to the side. And put that guy to the side as well. And now we just got to solder in our new components. So this is our new 24 megahertz chip. That guy went right in. Yeah, looks good. And I'm going to keep this iron on because we're going to need it to solder them down. And now see which one was it. Well, that was my crystal. This is C7 is 10 microfarad. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to stick this guy in next. C7. And microfarad and C26 and 27 are 33 picofarad. Okay. Got those guys as well. Let's get them out. And like I said, I'm not doing the fourth capacitor that's around here because the one on the bill of materials is rated at, I think it said 50 volts, and the ones I have on hand are 16. I don't know how much of a big difference that is, but I don't want to mess that up. 26, 27, 33 picofarads, and that's what we are putting in here. Okay, good. So C7s are 10 microfarad, 26, 27, 33 picofarad, and our 24 megahertz crystal. Okay, now can we do this just by flipping it, or are they all gonna want to fall out? I think they're gonna be okay if I kind of hold them, maybe. I don't know if I can do that. Maybe I can bend the pins a bit. Get it to stay nicely. Those three seem, I'll do that one first. It seems to be the most wanting to stray. Push it that way a bit. Push that one down that way. You know what? Maybe I can stick something under here. That's a piece of foam or something. Oh, perfect. This bubble wrap should do nicely. Let's try that. And then I can straighten these guys out and then just leave it. Yeah, good. I'm just doing that to push up from below. I have my soldering station over here, but I'm not going to do that right now because I have other stuff loaded in there. Okay. So I think we are good to go here. Let's get these guys soldered in here. All right. If I could find the end of the solder, that'd be great. Here we go. Whew, there's so much stuff on this desk, it's like impossible to do this. Okay. Okay, those two are done. Okay, that one's done. That one's done. That one's done as well. Now let's do our clock. Okay, that one's done. Oy. Okay, that one's ugly, but maybe done. I don't think it cold soldered. It's just an ugly big blob solder, but it'll work out. Now I'm going to trim these guys off. Leave a little extra there. I made a big ugly blob on that one, but it looks like the solder is fine. Let's study that under the microscope. Might as well, we got the view. Will help me as well. Just kind of check this thing out. Okay. Let's see if I can get this under here first. Okay, there. They're all in there now. Can you see them all? Yeah, I think you can. So the ones that I redid were those two next to my fingernail. That one is the big kind of blob one. And then I think I redid these two, and then these two, and these two. And they all appear to be just fine. I don't think there's any kind of... here, I'm going to actually touch each one from the other side and see if we get any kind of weird play or anything. Just, I'm almost positive these things are just fine, but just to, you know, quadruple check that we don't have any kinds of cold solders or anything. And for those of you out there, cold soldering is when you solder like the pin, but it does maybe connect to the pad, and then it's not really making an electrical connection. But those look all great. Okay, so success. We have soldered on those 4 new components. And let's just take a look over here again under the microscope. Okay, so what did we replace? We replaced this 24 megahertz clock. These 2 capacitors, I believe they were 33 picofarads. And then this one, which was the 4.7 microfarad, I believe. And then we left this guy alone, the 10 microfarad. And I did that because, like I said, the replacement part I ordered was 16 volt or something versus 50. So I was a little reluctant to do that. So if we still have issues, I may come back to this guy. Now, it is possible, some of the other things I was thinking, if it still doesn't work, I may replace these. I'm not sure what these actually are, but they have 3 leads, so they may be some kind of transistor or something. They look like it, but I'm not sure what those are. We may just replace those out. I got 2 of them. I got each one if it continues to have issues. And then, of course, we can start working at other capacitors, maybe, just to see. Because there's some over here, there's some down here, there's a bunch of capacitors everywhere. I guess that would be my next kind of thing, is to maybe start slowly changing out some capacitors. There are a couple electrolytic capacitors in here. There's one there on the camera there, and there are a couple up here. I don't know if I have replacements for those though. We'll see. At any rate, so that's it. So I think what we're going to do now is I am going to connect this guy up. Here, I'll come back. I'm going to turn off the soldering iron so that's just not cooking my tip. And I'm going to come back over here. Oh, wrong one. Wrong one. There we go. And I'm going to shut off my microscope there. Ooh, it's all tangled up. I'm going to move that out of the way so you can see the scope over here. That is our next mission. So we have the parts in. What we're going to do now, I hooked up the power connector here, ribbon cable. These are both connected. Now we need to go ahead and plug in our power supply board. I'm going to bring this guy over closer because they are tethered. Maybe I can, I don't know if this guy's going to go down. Is that what's going to happen? Maybe. And then, so I don't push on that, I'm going to gently get this guy in. Okay, the first one here is for our power supply. So this is our power supply board. That's all good. Okay, so that's, how do we do it? Is that on or off? Can't remember. I believe down is off. Okay, so we got that. Now, what do we need to do? I have my test lead set to 50 nanoseconds. And 1 volt, which is what it should be to read the clock signal. Now, the test point, I believe, it's this guy. Is that correct? I believe it is. From memory from doing this last time, I believe this is correct test point. And then I'll also have to stick this on ground to kind of test this guy out. Okay, so there we're at ground and our test point's in. So now what do I gotta do? I gotta plug our Kijimi power supply in, find our end here, our end connector, pull this guy around, and get any kind of cables or anything that could ground out of the way, and plug this guy in. Okay, so we have power in there now. That guy's plugged in. What else do we need? This is plugged into here. Our board is in. This is connected, that's connected. This board isn't connected at all, it's just there. Okay, so I'm going to hold this here. And we're going to turn this on, and we are going to see if we get a clock signal. Okay. That doesn't look promising. Power looks fine, but I'm not seeing a clock signal there. Maybe I have to, it's not set to single or anything. Yeah, I would say we're not getting a clock signal. Bummer. Bummer, bummer, bummer. Yeah, no clock signal. You can see it, like when I let go, it's like that. When I connect, it's like that. So again, if I just turn it off, it goes down to kind of to nothing. And then if I turn it on, it jumps up, but we're not getting an oscillation. We should be seeing an oscillation. And we're not seeing anything. No movement, no signal. Bummer, bummer. Okay, so that tells me that whatever we just did there was probably not successful. It probably this oscillator and these other capacitors are probably okay. What I am going to do is just package these back up in the proper things, the old ones, just so I know what's what. So now I have some replacements, and I know what they are. I always screw this up and don't do this stuff, and then it becomes extremely hard to figure out what you have later on. Highly suggest that. I do a lot of projects, and then I mix up things, and then I'm like, it's a pain. I have a tester and things, and I can test it and figure out what's what, but it's always easier when you just don't have to do that and you know what you got is what it is. All right, so changed out the 3 capacitors, changed out the crystal. No love. Huh. Okay, so that's that. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to reconsult with Black Corporation and see so if they have some other suggestions of things to try. I mean, it's possible I'm also not probing properly or something like that, but at this point I think that I am. I am going to double check what test point I was using, but I'm almost certain I was connecting to the proper test point. It could be that I was not, but I'm almost certain I was. Again, maybe I'll try changing out some of these transistor looking things at some point, but I'm going to ask some advice first before I jump on that bandwagon. All right, so here, I'm going to pop back over here, and we can switch cams to this guy. All right, so I have to say, super bummed. I was like praying that it would be, the 24 megahertz crystal would be bad or something, and it would just pop to life and work. No love, no luck. I am just absolutely dying to get this thing finished and working so I can just use it and make some jams and make some music. But it's gonna have to wait. So, again, I'll be exploring other options, other fixes, seeing what I can do to get a signal to this thing and go from there. I'll be consulting offline and then definitely update here what the news is. I'm working on a bunch of new music. I should have a new album ready very soon, which is awesome. I just wrote another song for it the other night and added some sounds, some ocean wave type sounds, and it is pretty much finished. Thinking about adding words or lyrics. I don't know. It may or may not do that to complete it, but it's pretty much done. I have 2 more tracks that are written but just need to be finalized and recorded, and then I should then just work on covers and all that kind of the artwork and stuff. So that's where I'm at there with a little bit of music production stuff, and hopefully maybe this week sometime I can do a live stream of practicing some of that new music. That'd be fun. Who knows? But I'm gonna leave it there today. I got some other stuff to do as well, and I will catch up again when I have some more news, and we can continue from there. Okay, hope you're all doing well wherever you're at, and I'll catch you next time. So long.